What's going on, Maschine Masters family? This is MGTheFuture bringing you guys another exclusive Maschine Masters tutorial. Today I'm kind of change up the pace a little bit and kind of show you guys my workflow as far as remixes are concerned, especially since they're gaining a lot of popularity through social media. A lot of meme remixes have been hot. A lot of different interview remixes have been hot. And since I'm an avid Ableton Live user, it makes sense for me to kind of go over my workflow and how I think about doing remixes, since that's exactly why I got it. But anyway, first let's just start with the beginning, right? So when we talk about remixing, we're talking about usually getting an acapella from the B side of a record and having another record, whether it's the instrumental or an original piece of work that you've produced, and putting it or blending it together, something that DJs used to do. And of course, Ableton Live being a DJ targeted program, it's included a lot of those A/B slider features. It's included a lot of time stretch and warp markers for people to remix. But I say around 2007, 2008, printing out acapellas and instrumentals to mainstream artists' music had kind of died off. In fact, if you look up Drake acapellas, there hasn't really been any for any of his new albums, but there's like 2 or 3 for his original, even acapellas for collaborations he did with other Canadian artists. But it seems like the industry's put a stop to releasing high quality acapellas. Some people can do the DIY stuff and, the mid, side, and center extraction, but it always sounds really grainy and terrible. So as that being the case, what I think has happened, the internet and the people who adapt and producers and the people from the streets, from the hood, have adapted and said, all right, fine then. We won't give the mainstream artists or the labels to be any shine and worry about all these copyright takedowns. We're just going to use memes and videos and interviews and work around that system. The first person that comes to my mind that I see a lot of is Suede, the remix god. And he has tons of different remixes that he's done. He gets way more views on social media because he gets a lot of the influencers like Montreality and these guys to repost the remixes for him. And of course he gets kids to do dances and all that fun stuff. So I said, all right, cool. So he's doing all these cool memes with the How About That Girl, with the Salt Dude, so on and so forth. But I noticed no one did one of Roll Safe. Now Roll Safe is this meme, and you can go to knowyourmeme.com to look it up and read about it. Or you can use knowyourmeme.com and find your own, which is what I would do. Right now that Trash Dove is showing up everywhere on Facebook. So once I figured out who Roll Safe was, I went ahead and watched all his TV series on YouTube. Pretty hilarious dude, pretending to be a rapper. And then I found some more. So the one that we all are familiar with is this one. So as I was looking through some of this stuff, I noticed he had more, of course, and I ended up going with this one.
A bit tired. Bang! Bang! Boom! Hello, Danny, get me the shooter!
So he's freestyling for his aunt in that particular episode. And when I was listening to it, when he was doing his little freestyle, I kind of tapped the tempo.
Hello, Danny, get me the shooter.
And when I was thinking about it, I was like, that'd be cool if it was a Jersey Club remix. So if you're not familiar with Jersey Club, it's pretty much like Baltimore club music or Chicago club music. They all have their subtle differences because they all are hubs where a lot of underground house music came out of, especially in the 80s and early 90s. And my dad was a house DJ, so I had tons of those records. But Jersey Club is a little bit more updated because people like Cashmere Cat and Trippy Turtle are bringing light to it. How ironic. But you can go to websites like this and just look up your genre of music and find out, all right, so what are the ingredients? And that's what I was looking for. When I've seen all these guys that are doing it from overseas, I was like, well, if they figured it out, I know I can. And lo and behold, the defining elements of Jersey club music is the kick. So the bass, the kick, the thump, the pattern, which sounds like a 4/4, but at the end of that fourth beat, it changes a little bit. It's off beat. I think it's a triplet, honestly. And then, of course, there's two breaks. There's the Lynn Collins Think About It break, and then the bed squeak that we heard in Wale's Bad, and, of course, Trillville. So let's bring these up individually. Let's do the think break first, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is It Takes Two break and a few others. I know a lot of video games have used this break in their music. So you got to have that at some point or another as a fill, as a breakdown, somewhere in the track. And then you have the bed squeak as well. Nothing too exciting there. Real simple. You can find them anywhere or cut them out of the Trillville song, depending on what you want to do. And then for extra measure, I got a Jamaican-esque from Major Lazer, although, you know, Diplo's not Jamaican, but that vibe of having a rhythm is definitely Jamaican influence. So I got this one as well. And then, of course, for the documentary, because a lot of these memes hit YouTube, even if they don't originate in YouTube, you can use something like a YouTube to MP3. And there's tons of sites that do it, fast and free. You can also get add-ons for Google Chrome to detect the media file in any situation on any website, and then it'll let you hit a download button to save the MP4, and then you can extract the audio from that video clip if it's in video format. And that's exactly what's going on here in Hood Documentary.
Bang, bang, boom. Hello, Danny, get me the shooter.
When you do that too, cool thing about Ableton, it tries to stretch it for you, but you just unwarp it just to get its regular tempo.
I'm thinking to myself, Lord, huge. But I went inside, he sat me down, I was so nervous.
You don't want to war with me, you get sapped up with the fake MCs. You want to diss me, you get bang. Ooh, bang, bang, boom. Hello, Danny, get me the shooter.
So things like that, I would just highlight just that part, and I'll create splits by holding Command E. And I went through the whole track just looking for different parts that I wanted to use.
Mum, stop lying to the boy. That was terrible.
Yes.
And as you go through Command E, you can slice and delete the rest. You can right click on the clips that you want to keep and consolidate them, and then trim them down further. So when he starts flowing, it's on the downbeat. And then, of course, because we can see where his words are, in this example,
You don't want to war with me, you get sapped up with the fake MC.
you can use these markers in the beginning and move them to even downbeats.
You don't want to war with me, you get sapped up with the fake MCs.
And I'd fix that by making a sharper cut in the beginning, which I'll show you in my final version. But basically, since you can see his words, you can just move everything around and get everything on a downbeat, especially since Jersey Club is downbeat driven. So now we'll move into my version of this, and I'm going to show you what the drums look like, because I think that's the most important part of these tracks. So my kick track is real simple. Let's go ahead and loop that with Command L. And you'll notice I'm using one kick and a ghost kick. So this kick right here, and where it is, where you think there should be a kick right here on the downbeat, there isn't. It's kind of missing. It's right before it. And it gives it that flow, it gives it that rhythm, that hesitation, I call it. I want to see if it is a triplet though. I think it's a triplet if I'm not mistaken. So 1/16 triplets. Yeah. It's almost a triplet. This line right here marks where that triplet beat is. So it might be 132s. Yeah. Mine's a little bit early, kind of shifted or nudged over. So it's right here. It's 3 beats on the triplet grid right before the downbeat. That's where that ghost kick should be. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's on that extra ghost kicks on a triplet grid while the rest are just fourths. Regular fourths without a triplet grid. Or 8ths or 16ths in this case. Cool. So once I had that down, that's where I start. I mapped everything around the kick. And then even on the voice part, before I get into that, I knew what the chords were going to be, just 1, 4, and 5 chords. So there's really not a lot of harmonic content in his voice when he's rapping, so you can get away with anything. So on my chords, I played a really simple pattern. And my setup is cool. I got these major chords being triggered by one key, and I'm hitting 1, 4, and 5 or keys around that. And I got it in my favorite Hindu scale, and those chords sound like this. Cool. So once you have all that, and you have the flow and the basis of just a kick and some chords, then you move on to the vocals. So in my vocals for this part, Jersey Club, there are verses, especially when you listen to Trippy Turtles, where after the drop happens, it's just a regular verse. It could be R&B influence, it could be trap influence, and you just have them rapping. So when he was doing his freestyle, that's exactly what I did. But Jersey Club is signature for the pitch bending and the repetition of the beat and the voices looping. So since he's doing a bang freestyle, I just looped up him saying bang. So I'm gonna show you how this flows in together.
Ooh, bang. Hello, Danny, get me the shooter. Get bang, 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 get bang, 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 get bang, bang.
So you can see this is on the grid, right on the downbeats, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I put the warp markers back, you can see it's right on top. And once I do that, I'll go ahead and highlight it, right click, and consolidate it to make its own audio clip. And it's warped to 173 beats per minute, which is what my track was originally, but I slowed it down to 140. And for the bang, the low bang, I transposed his voice down, kind of like a Houston chopped and screwed music. Then, like I said, for the verse,
don't want to war with me, you get sapped up with the fake MCs. Don't want to war with me, you get sapped up with the fake MCs. Don't want to war with me, don't want to war with me. Don't want to diss me.
So that's pretty much it. And I have my guide markers based on another track that was really popular in the Jersey Club scene, kind of get an idea of where they're doing their change ups. I ended up abandoning it so that my particular track can flow better, but it gave me really cool context on what they're doing. And they're using a lot of groups of 4 bars or 4-bar groups that are moving through the track. And I'm assuming that's a limitation or an adaptation from old school drum machines and turntables and what have you, especially in the early 2000s. But pretty much after you got that, that's it. I want to show you another section of just the breaks and how I ended up flipping them so to be not so much original, because it is a particular staple in the music, but I did it my own style of using these breaks. So I use these breaks all at once to kind of make a hybrid break out of them. So I got the think break, the Diplo major laser break, and the bed squeak going on. So I got these all grouped together, bus breaks. I just got some lows rolled off. I got a compressor on it, and I got Neutron on it from Isotope, which is pretty dope. And everything just flows together. And I introduce these breaks as fills throughout the entire track. And the squeaks just a little bit, because the squeaks can get annoying if you just let them keep looping. A good idea is to use the squeaks as an open hi-hat, like that every fourth rhythm. That'd be pretty cool. I've heard other songs that are doing that instead of just letting it squeak through the whole track. And that's pretty much making sure you have all the ingredients. I didn't do a lot in means of instrumentation because the particular sound is driven by the kick and the bass. And that brings me to my last part. The bass, they use a lot of old school 808s and 909s from the old ones I heard that are tuned to the key of the song. I end up doing a pitched bass to the key of the chords I was playing. I don't know if you guys can hear that on YouTube or in videos, but it's just a pitch bass. And it only comes in every once in a while, not to get in the way of what's happening by means of vocals. Now that that's all said and done, I'll play it back up to a certain point. And what you would do next is take these tracks and export them or bounce them out as stems. And of course, to do that in Ableton Live, you just do export audio and video, and you do selected tracks only. So you can highlight the tracks you want to select. In this particular example, you want to select your vocal chops and export that wave separately by itself and put it into Final Cut or something like that. And what you want to do is, because in most of those video editors, you can see the waveform of where the voices are, you can then align the video's waveform to your voices and start chopping the video by looking at the waveform of the video. So when he says, Danny, get me a shooter, you scrub to the video where he says that and align the video's audio to your beat and chop it up accordingly and just align them up together. So you have those really choppy videos that you see on Facebook a lot for these songs. And then when there's no voice, or when the elements of your beat are not represented in the video, you can just use different clips of videos, different stock footage altogether. That's pretty much the simplest way to go about it.
Yeah, I am.
I'm a little surprised you're being documented for your artistic side, though. I always thought of you as a numbers man.
Oh, that's dead.
Reese, remember your manners.
Can't dead. That's dead.
Go on. Let me see something now.
Ooh. Bang. Hello, Danny. Get me with the streetcar. Me, get sacked up with the fake MCs. Don't wanna war with me, get sacked up with the fake MCs. Me, don't wanna war with me. Don't wanna diss me. Get bang, ooh, bang, bang.
Very good, Reese.
Mum, stop. That was terrible.
Your swag's terrible.
And that was cool, this part here, because that's representing when my song is going to loop over. Most Jersey Club songs, especially because they're so fast, they're anywhere from 130 beats per minute, and I've seen some go up to 180, which is just double time. It's really 90 beats per minute. But when that happens, they're usually less than 2 minutes long. So people who do extended versions or edits of them, they loop at a certain point, and I did the same exact thing. I said, well, I'm going to loop it here, but I kind of borrowed from the Watch the Throne Paris track, where they have the dude that plays, or the actor of Napoleon Dynamite in the movie he's in with Will Ferrell, kind of breaking the tension in the track randomly. And that's exactly what I end up using here from the Hood documentary TV show.
Very good, Reese.
Mum, stop lying to the boy. That was terrible.
Your swag's terrible.
So it was just funny to me. And then I just looped the track back from the hook forward and played it all over again. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys what's possible as far as how these guys are getting millions of plays doing remixes, and 9 times out of 10 why they're doing them. Because acapellas are not easy to come by anymore. The quality is terrible. And as you can see in this documentary or in this TV show, they're using a gate or some kind of vocal cleanup, because these waveforms of just the audio is very sharp, very clean, and the silence is dead silence for the most part. So they're gating it and cleaning it up. So it makes TV shows the best way to get an acapella, especially if it's urban or music themed TV shows, for that kind of demographic, to the popular culture demographic. You know, you get a lot of corny and cheesy stuff. That'd be dope to loop up and make a Jersey Club edit. That's all I'm saying. So Suede, the remix guy, watch out. We're gonna have a whole bunch of hunters on your head now that the trick's out of the bag. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this and learned something from it, in case you were wondering how to do this or what to go about. And there's plenty of other genres to explore. I know some of you guys don't like the way I say genres, but I say genres. And there's lo-fi house, there's a trap, there's future bass, there's chill music, Not chill on your Spotify playlist. Chill in terms of the different chill genres that are EDM, which is just regentrified R&B. Trap is the same way. And basically, you just learn what the main ingredients are of these tracks, like I did with the breaks at the bottom, and the tempo. So as long as you know the genre, what elements it commonly uses, what tempos it commonly uses, and then you can map the format to one of its most popular songs, you're halfway there. Everything else is taste or creativity. If you really want to be really on an extra level, make sure you use the keys of music that are well represented within that genre as well. Because say for instance, most of their chords are built in major. Make sure you're using major chord progressions. You can do minor, but I think people expect and appreciate if you stuck within the confines of what they're familiar with already. And then you can go start branching off, or even doing your bridges in minor, or doing, your change ups. But anyway, thank you for tuning in to the Maschine Masters. If you like this video, comment, like, subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future breakdowns or future videos, let us know as well. Until next time.